This is the New Eden update for Tuesday, April 12th, 2016. I am Wiggles, and here's a roundup of a few stories from around New Eden. We start today at Crossing Zebras with a post titled "A Tribute to Bad Design." Recently, it was quietly announced that a new daily reward system would be introduced into EVE Online. Within a day, the thread had blown up to over 33 pages, which probably qualifies it as a threadnought. Impressive feat given the current glut of news and things to talk about in EVE. Obviously, people are very passionate about this topic, and it seems that most people are either opposed to the idea of dailies completely or strongly criticising the implementation. One of the things that is confusing about this dramatic change from the proposal from when it was first discussed at EVE Vegas. This shift is to a more simpler implementation, is of course easier to create and iterate on, but many feel that the feature as is presented is too thin. In reality, the issues of the feature are combined and changing expectations, poor design, and even poor implementation. Right now, it is very important for the feature. If rolled out properly, it could be strangled in its crib, as this writer in particular would have rather help make the feature successful than write of what more. I apologise for that. Than write of what it may have been. CCP simply needs to clarify their position on this feature. It is the utmost of importance that the tribute system does not go into tranquility in its current iteration. Or perhaps the damage will already be done. Convincing the player base that a daily reward system is healthy and going to be a challenging task, given the amount of negative feelings for other games that have brought, as well as the ever-looming fear of free-to-play eroding the core of EVE. However, if CCP pivots and commits to this as being a fully fleshed out feature, and not some flimsy attempt to check the daily rewards box, then it could stand to include this as part of a comprehensive overhaul of the PvE experience. Revitalising EVE in one way is unseen in years, and potentially once and for all rendering the statement that PvE in EVE is terrible to the annals of the myth. Next we go to EVE News 24 for a report about diplomatic crisis in the drone regions. And I'm sorry, I'm going to have to blow my nose or breathe in. There we go, I've got a cold. On April 10th at 1800 EVE time, the Drone Regions Federation, DRF, headed by Legion of Exdeath, reset standings with its member coalition, the Drone Walkers, and giving their leaderships 30 minutes of warning. Following this, both sides commenced hostilities, with the DRF hitting DW Moons and DW retaliating by reinforcing multiple systems. According to mail circulated by Legion of Exdeath, the reason for the sudden change are recent actions taken by the Drone Warder, specifically alternate allegations and in-panic alliances, the attitude of their leadership. The mail goes on to claim that the alliances have broken numerous agreements, such as defending the drone regions from incursions and Venal-based alliances, instead establishing working relationships with them, hiding information regarding renters and valuable moons from Legion of Exdeath's leadership, and breaching the non-invasion pacts or NIPs that have been put in place by the Imperium and the DRF, especially after failing to report on the fact that they were being paid so to do by outsiders. Now, there is a translation of the mail sent out, and it was originally in Russian. Now I'm going to skip over that and go to the end of the piece. As to the impact of the current development of the Drone Walker campaign to Tenal regions, it is too soon to tell. Drone Walker members have said that they will have to adjust their plan accordingly, but with the region mostly deserted and the majority of it already fallen to the Drone Walkers, it seems unlikely Imperium forces will be able to exploit the situation, especially with Allied forces advancing through Branch and Pureblind. As for the Allied command, there is no official statement was given, so it seems Legion of Exdeath was given assurances that so long as the conflict remains limited, Allied forces will not interfere directly, unless provoked of course, keeping their attention on the Imperium. Nothing new on the boards from theBotani.com as of yet today though. Elsewhere in E-related content, a new blog post out from Rick Javix with a little bit of comic satire on there, and Noisy Gamer with a great teardown of yesterday's post on thematani.com about I Want ISK. New podcasts are out from Cap Stable in French, and declarations of war. Plex prices in the Forge region today are registering an average traded price of 1,024 million ISK so far, which is up 5 million from yesterday's closing average of 1,019 million. The top buy order in Jita right now is 1,025, and sell orders are starting at 1,037 million ISK. Skill extractors, however, are trading down 1 million from yesterday's closing average of 237 at 236. Buy orders for those are starting at 231, and sell orders starting at 237. Skill injectors are trading down currently 4 million ISK at 639 of yesterday's closing average of 643. Buy orders for those are starting at 634, and sell orders are starting at 644. Thank you to the people who've chosen to support this show on Patreon and decided to get some value from this show and given a little bit back monetarily. You can go to patreon.com/wiggles to find out about all the way to support this show. And I understand not everyone can support monetarily. What you can do is tell people about the show. Tell your friends and court mates, your alliance mates, or any random people you see on the street. You can find out all the ways to support at newedenupdate.com/support, because we now broadcast live on Twitch and YouTube, and while we record it to upload for a podcast a little bit later. So please, if you have any feedback on this or any other part of the show, drop me an email, feedback at newedenupdate.com. You can send us a tweet at newedenupdate, or you can even put a comment in the show blog, newedenupdate.com. I do also encourage you to go check out our sister site, which is totaleve.com, to find out all the latest information about the headlines, the podcast, the blog posts, the dev posts, the Reddit posts, any other posts out there in EVE Online. You'll probably find it on totaleve.com. This has been your New Eden update for Tuesday, April 12, 2016. We'll be back tomorrow. I'm Wiggles, and thank you very much for listening or watching.